Hi, and welcome to Disco Elysium Part 22. We are currently in the church, and someone has crept down from... We looked up in the bell tower, we saw shadows moving, and something or someone climbed down among the shadows, and they're there now. Kim hasn't seen anything. We saw them. What is going on? They're looking straight at us with dark eyes. Someone hanging from the rafters.
Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Maybe. It's just right there. Just right there. There's gonna look like a wearing pants, at least. What's this? Let's take a look at this first. The bowl is filled with water, and a live wire runs directly into it. What the hell is even going on around here? I guess we're gonna talk to this.
The shadow is a man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently.
Made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. A wooden man?
The crab man.
Crab people. Hey, who's there?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
Okay. I'm way less scared now, or concerned, I should say. Way less concerned now that we heard him speak.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in general. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Rivershore.
The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
We're already on our own, crawling our way out of the bottom of the bottle, but thank you for your offer.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Did we really need to question Shitstain and friend? No, but we did anyway, and we're probably gonna do the same here.
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
I mean, we've been sober for 3 days, which is probably a lot longer than Harry has been sober for a long while. Yeah, I guess I have a bit of a problem, and it's been getting out of hand lately, but...
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't even know it.
Oh, I know it. I keep hearing jabs and I'm getting pokes constantly from the rest of my mind that is arguing amongst themselves about... oh, yeah. Oh, I'm very much in touch with my suffering.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
If you say so. I don't speak a lick of Spanish, but that's... let's say yes.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Yes, Kim.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
Yeah. For some reason, I feel like you have a point there.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
His voice echoes in the cold air of the church. Thought gained. Wasteland of reality.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game?
Maybe. We have used that tactics on a few people. Just being weird and trying to get them to drop their guard so we can get in there with a quick jab of questioning and trying to get the truth.
Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways.
Until he loses his grip, at least.
'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Do you know where the other spooker is?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
What?
Viaita is Grandma?
Grandma is studious? I don't know Spanish. Wait, so there is another person living in the church. And what's it's a viejita?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Wait, what if it's Ruby?
Yeah, what if it's Ruby?
Did it ever seem to you like she was hiding here from something?
The lieutenant seems to be thinking the same. He takes out his little blue notebook.
You mean like a fugitive?
He glances at the abandoned radio computer on the other side of the nave, pulsing with light. Then he shakes his head. Yeah, because wasn't Ruby kinda good with the whole technical and mechanical stuff? And we definitely saw a radio computer up in the left corner.
No, man. Quite the opposite. I don't think she cared much about authority or anything else for that matter. Maybe only about her machines.
Maybe, you say. Just maybe.
I see. And where is she now?
The lieutenant seems contented with that answer.
I told you, Holmes. I don't know.
But how can you not know when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you got nothing else to tell me? How she looks? What she does? Who she is?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
Or?
Or search through her radio computer.
Yeah. Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub. What's your stance on that?
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me.
Wait, do they have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
Oh, okay, so what's your opinion on the whole nightclub thing?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go.
Okay, so he is all for a nightclub in the church.
Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Okay then, thanks. So he's just gonna hang out there now. Okay. Ooh, what's this? A scarf? Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A figure drawn in frost on the window, depicting a deer. So flowers and deer. Uh-huh. Meskbanger's silk scarf, you say? Guess that would go here. I don't like them being orange. Yes, it would. So this huge red scarf is still dusty from lying in the church. A subtle red-on-red embroidery embellishes it with cocky roosters and mesque floral motifs. So how much do I have in Inland Empire? 3. Maybe don't want to lose Inland Empire. Maybe I'll... Because I do get 1 pain threshold, and it looks pretty nice. So maybe we'll do that, and then we'll add an Inland Empire so we have Inland Empire. Because I said I was going to use the points immediately. And so I shall. Wasteland of Reality. -2 physical instrument insomnia for 20 hours. I'm not going to be able to sleep, which we barely do anyway. It has been brought to your attention that you're an alcoholic. And that it's a sickness. And it's killing you. You're crawling on your knees through life, your booze-filled belly dragging on the ground, your brain now fuzzy, now in overdrive, your hair sticking together with today's cold sweat and yesterday's vomit. Perhaps they're right. Anything is better than this, even bone-dry reality itself. Maybe you can quit. Next point, I'm gonna unlock a thought. Yep, one of these. And we're gonna think about Wasteland of Reality. Because we're gonna quit. We need a 92 points for that though. So that should be doable as long as Encyclopedia keeps coming in. 10 experience every time we get the Encyclopedia. That's only 10 encyclopedias. What's this? A cracked pane of glass. Colorful. We're still gonna walk around in here. It feels like the right thing to do. A spider has spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. So we have some shoes. Meskbanger's red brogues. And we have money. These dapper snakeskin shoes have an almost invisible white-on-white flower motif sewn on the tongue. The toe caps are still dusty from lying in the church. +1 empathy in someone else's shoes. But we do have the boots, which gives us perception and makes us look either like someone about to do some polo or do some just general horse riding, or, you know, just be a fascist. How are we with this whole thing? Sorry Cop 9, Superstar Cop 3, Boring Cop 7, very communist. Half as much fascist, not so very liberal, but we're very moralist. We're up to 5 honor now. I guess that's good. Oh, where did my pretty music go? A portable Harman Wowshi tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something? Probably. 2 decks of reel-to-reel tape spinning on empty. Okay, I wanted to look at this. Someone's siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. So are you telling me there's just a big hole in the side of the church? And I could have gotten in that way?
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
And making alien noises.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
I see.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yeah, but this machine looks just like the one in the doomed commercial area.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to touch anything.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer.
A printer, you say?
The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits.
Have I told you recently how much I love you, Encyclopedia? Thank you for the money, but even more, thank you for the experience. Ooh. I can't help myself. We're gonna investigate it. Step behind the computer.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open.
It is glowing a little bit too much for my liking, but...
The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Diamond-shaped glasses? I feel they look quite round. Look inside the compartment.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March.
Okay.
Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater.
Is it gonna be trapped? I mean, she wouldn't... Whoever it is, wouldn't just leave it here on. Would they? Ooh, but you never know. Maybe press print?
Nothing happens.
Damn, press play.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
But she doesn't look a day over 90.
Good morning, fortress accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Indian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
I looked inside the core. Should we really say anything though? What can she do from over there? Probably nothing. She can just cut off the call, I guess, and then she still has to pick up the next time we press play. So yeah, I looked inside the core, but the tape on the filament just said log, February through March.
Good. Please repeat the password.
God's damned passwords.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
Yeah, we still need to find the password for the thing down in the doomed commercial area too.
Maybe he knows something.
Tiago? Yeah. Yes, I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
You do that.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
What are you, a machine, or are you alive? She's alive.
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. Now please repeat. Is this the personal log?
So your job is just sit there and answer calls that people do through their radio computers.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are paranoid.
He whispers into my ear. Okay, but where are you? How did you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Indian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident.
So is this whole area Fortress accident? Accident? Because that's what she said when we were back in the commercial district too. It must be. Maybe it's kind of the whole Revachol area that's named Fortress Accident on account of it being shelled during the war.
As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
And what do you do if you're in this call right now and someone else presses play on another computer somewhere? Do you take that? Do you kind of pause this and take that call, or are they going to have to wait? Or is there someone else who's going to take the call?
Doesn't it get lonely? Sitting there all by yourself?
Yeah, doesn't it get lonely doing this job? I also want to know about the whole, if 2 or more people use their radio computers at the same time, what are you going to do then?
Lonely? Why would it get lonely? I get to talk all day to people like you over a warm cup of tea.
That does sound like a sweet deal, especially if you also get paid for it. He says, being socially awkward and not knowing how to talk to people, really?
That's why she does this.
Now, please tell me why you're calling Fortress Accident.
Thank you, but I am finished with this call for now. I'll talk to you soon, Yvonne.
Goodbye, Fortress Accident.
She says as her voice disappears into a whirl of static.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Yeah, we're gonna leave. So maybe Tiago knows the password you said? Did he actually ever give his name as Tiago, or I don't think so. I don't remember so.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Oh. Is the coffee the mother's love?
Coffee in the back. Something familiar about that. Coffee and stale cookies.
What was that about coffee? I feel like I've heard it somewhere before.
Look, man. I'm at liberty to talk about the sacred blaze of the mother's glorious heart, but not about the coffee.
Uh-huh. So you must be the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
To be fair, it's really more like a spider.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
It was slightly scary.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Wait, did you also carve all of these sculptures?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands.
Man, that sounds like a... maybe not always a useful skill to have, but... a fun skill to have, being able to take a piece of wood and make something artsy out of it with just some tools. I wish I was handy like that.
Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
You're promoting the objectification of women with your reactionary depiction of female bodies. Those are way too many words for Harry. We're just gonna go with, you got some nice curves going there.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it.
So what were you before you became a crabman and a woodcarver?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
Gonna be honest, that kind of actually sounds like a good thing. Losing all your memories of being in a gang where I'm guessing you saw all kinds of horrible things. You know, I lost my memory too, but I do kind of like it. It's like I get to create a whole new me, start again from scratch, because it sounds like past me was a real dick.
That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother, that is.
Maybe if you told me a little bit more about the mother and the service of the mother and what it entails, then maybe.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak.
It's just the not random, but it's just the syllables your parents or whatever, whoever gave you the name. It's just a name. It's not you. It's just a label. But now actually he did present himself now. So now we know it's Tiago.
Your place amongst your fellows. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
Well, my name's Harry.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
He ignores your hand, his limbs, a mere shadow below the ceiling. So, have you by any chance heard the Viejita say the password to her radio computer?
Too many times, Esse. You need it for something.
Yes?
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
You sure about that, Drama? You think he'll fall for that? Sure, I'm doing a survey of passwords and passcodes identifying regional trends. In the interests of public safety, of course.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
Can't believe that worked.
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la Nilita pequeña when I hear it.
Okay, Nielita, sure, but Pequeña? No idea. So, what are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration.
He nods towards the ceiling.
I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
I am very curious now. Who is this mother of silence you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, I said. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
So what will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
Okay.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Well, if it works for you, who am I to try and get in the way of it?
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
And I say if it makes him feel better, let him. I can't prove that he's wrong, nor can I prove he's right, which is kind of what faith is all about. Let's agree to disagree.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
I still don't understand.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
Yeah, you said that already, but I still don't understand what you're doing in the church.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Seraph? Okay, sure. Can you sing for me? Sing for me something.
I ain't from no Mariette, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
Marietti is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities, especially weddings. It's delightfully quaint, owing to its peasant origins.
Thank you, Encyclopedia. I love you.
He lost his cool there for a moment. Seems you hit some nerve.
Okay, so how did you even find this place, this church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was.
The whole built around a veneration point and the perforation and the incineration and returning back to reality. Okay, gotcha.
Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me.
I see. So these shoes and this scarf here, are they yours?
I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. I don't need them anymore.
Thank you. I already picked them up, but it's good to know I'm not stealing them.
They look pretty dapper, actually.
Well, at least the scarf does. It kind of fits me. In a way. Anyway, I had other questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
So you've obviously been here quite a long time. Any idea why the church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
He responds, his voice suddenly flats.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
I've just been kind of looking at this little bird here, who now is there he is, just flying around. Sometimes it's a wide circle, sometimes it's a slightly slower circle, and then kind of clips here so you can see it's looped there. Okay then, thanks.
I think we're done here, Essay.
Oh, the figure crawls off into the darkness above.
That was an interesting conversation.
Yeah, sure was.
However, I'm still not sure whether we'll find our suspect here.
Me neither. But we did get the password for the church. I was about to say no, for the radio computer. So we're gonna go back and talk to Yvonne again. Good old Yvonne.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Press play again.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver.
Yes.
Good morning, Fortress accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Let's try this again. I think I may have the right password for the personal log.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife, death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament.
I shall. Thank you, Yvonne.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
No, we're done for now. I'll talk to you later if I ever find the password for the filament I'm carrying.
Goodbye, Fortress accident.
And her voice once again disappears into a whirl of static.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Print!
The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
So read the printout.
The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise.
And I think we're currently in March of 51. I think it's March. Because Clausier said she had been here since, was it December? Then she had been here for 3 or 4 months. So I think it's March, unless my memory fails me, which it very well could. That is very, 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 very common, but I think it's March.
Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably through the lines here that's behind my head. But we saw them earlier. Through the big gaping hole in the mural, mosaic, whatever this is.
The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Yeah, March. So, do you think this log might be connected to the case?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
I'm gonna read it anyway, because you never know. Read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity.
But you will at some point, which we can see.
See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving.
Question is, if you hadn't figured out the electricity, and this is recorded on a filament that's supposed to be in a radio computer, or is the radio computer just for unlocking and using the filaments, and you can actually use something else to record them on, which you found somewhere else, which might also need power? I don't know how the technology works.
What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
No electrochemistry, no. Read the third entry.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would she need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
He steps on a wire running on the ground, inspecting it with his boot. Fine, let's read the fourth entry.
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers.
Wait, Simo, Sulislav, Lexi. I feel like we heard some of these names before. Definitely Sulislav. Or something extremely similar to it. This is the problem with having a shit memory. It's eerily familiar, Sulislav.
But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked.
Someone mentioned a Sulislav. Was it Classier, maybe, when we talked about stuff?
I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Well, if a backup was wiped out when it wasn't connected, just sounds to me means like someone deliberately wiped the backup. The backup of what, or why, or who, we don't know. A data loss?
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying.
You and me both.
Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Mm-hmm. Artists, programmers, Lexi. Who are all these people?
I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
Maybe that's where we heard the name Sulislav. From the dice maker, maybe she mentioned a Sulislav. I know I heard the name before. So maybe whoever's here was one of the people who worked on that thing, and we kind of have that filament with us. Let's read the 5th entry. I'm getting interested now.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
Okay, so the strike has been going on for a while, which you already knew. Not happy to see the Martinez people again. She's definitely from here. Maybe she actually did. Maybe she actually was on the team who made the weird fantasy game. The whole MMO, I guess? Ish? Yes, but actually no.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder.
Yeah, he strokes his chin. Do we know the exact date right now? Because the murder was last week. The weekend, I think? Oh, crap, I don't even remember that.
Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
Yeah, read entry number 6, because I never know how the hell to pronounce that word. 6th? 6th? Read entry number 6.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
That's probably over there where we were, the trick of the engineering, where the acoustics are weird.
Is she talking about?
The lieutenant looks to his right, towards the silence. I think she is Kim. Read the 7th entry.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
It's kind of a large area, really. If the diameter is 3 meters? The formula for calculating the area of a circle is probably lodged very, 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 very far in the back of my brain. Because I freaking hate math.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
But what could it be?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples.
It is getting to be kind of creepy. Read the 8th entry.
March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again.
Hey, it's a good tune, okay? I was really bopping my head basically the entire time I was in that tent. It's a good tune, all right?
Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work.
I was about to say she, Then I remembered there are actually 4 of them. 3 are in the tent, the 4th is outside, and I completely forgot to talk to her. I should do that. And yes, the song is so monotonous I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. It's just meant to be boppy, you know? Earworms, just good to move your body to. It's not meant to be anything more than that. It's not meant to be complex. It's meant to be fun.
That disco man must be a cell.
She must be describing a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
We should talk to her. Read the 9th entry.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
That's me! I was the one who broke into that radio computer. And the storekeeper must be Plaisance. Plaisance? Plaisance.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with the machine.
Ah, it's fine, Kim.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines.
Yes, right. I remember my very first computer. I meddled around a lot in those configuration files and doing stuff and finding out what worked and what didn't, and then once the internet came you started downloading stuff, and then you had viruses everywhere and you had to wipe your computer, and then you were stupid and downloaded the same thing, and then you got the same virus. You learn about machines by doing things, preferably not breaking them. But you have to do. You have to do things. Read the 10th entry.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also some canned air.
Noodles.
Your reading was interrupted by the sound of the church door opening.
Yeah, that wasn't difficult to hear.
A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Suna, the programmer. Hi. She makes straight for it, but slowly. And I guess we just moved aside.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Yes, she glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
I mean, both 1 and 2 are correct. But let's go with that we're looking for a suspect in a murder investigation, and we thought they might be hiding here.
No one's hiding here.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whir back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
Also, the guy in the rafters. Don't forget about him.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Yes, we should, Kim. Have you rebooted your machine yet?
What is it?
The woman is still hunched over the keyboard, gently illuminated by the purring machine. Hey, I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
It doesn't seem like a big loss to her. Sorry, but who are you and what are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages.
Luukkanen-Kilde, so you're Finnish. Gotcha.
If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
She turns back to the terminal.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager.
Yeah, logic. These things happen.
That still doesn't answer what she's doing in an abandoned church.
Have you seen the Crab Man?
No?
But you know he's around.
Yes.
Sounds like you're not worried about him at all.
No, you're right. I'm not.
Her voice trails off as she bends over to tinker with the machine's printer. So, have you seen anyone suspicious, say, a woman named Ruby?
What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
Except you and the crabman.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
Why are there so many machines in this place?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
So why do you need an antenna?
I use the AR1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit.
RAIN Prefect, that's your radio computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that antenna is its processing unit?
Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
She has stopped working by now. I don't really know much about anything in this world, to be honest.
Alright. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
Wait, what's on air?
On the front, the unified front of radio waves, licensed and controlled by Lintel in the East Insulindic region. It's all around us. That's what on air means.
I see.
Like love.
If you say so. And the AR1, is it a good antenna?
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable.
So it is a damn good antenna.
But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians.
And you are not a civilian?
Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing.
A sound advice for whatever you intend to purchase.
She liked telling me this. It calmed her nerves.
So what are you doing with your radio computer?
I'm working.
That much is obvious.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light casts in her face in a strange shadow.
Working on what?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
But I like dancing around the point.
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do. And you're not helping.
So what about those bowls of water over there?
They are connected to my RAIN prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Yeah, but what do they do?
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
I want to know what they do. Right, I'll try not to touch anything. Next question.
Great.
I kind of want to go back to asking her if she was the programmer on that thing. Because I saw that was a thing I could ask, but I can't ask it anymore. I hope I can go back to ask it. So what are you doing in an abandoned church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
There's a hint of amusement in her tired eyes. I mean, yeah, I'm a police officer, so it's my job to ask questions. Maybe these aren't actually pertinent to the case I'm on, but I like asking questions.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
She says, ready to stand her ground. I wasn't even thinking of throwing you out. Maybe we'll start a nightclub here? But I'm not gonna throw you out. What research?
I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
A hole in the world? Literally or figuratively? And 2mm? That's... Is it really small?
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said.
Right. Thank you, interfacing.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Is the hole connected to the data loss in your journal?
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
A hole in the world. What does that mean exactly?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing.
There's something frantic about her as she locks her gaze with you, eyes shining like pearls.
What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
She's suddenly absorbed in the conversation, waiting for your answer.
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
I can't even understand how we're talking about something that doesn't exist, let alone measure it.
You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins.
So kinda, but not kinda the way we figure out where black holes are, because we can't actually see the black hole, because it's a black hole. We can only see the black hole by the mass around it and how celestial bodies around it are affected by the gravity of it.
Hydrotransducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
Thank you, Encyclopedia.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
Do you have any idea where this hole might be located?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
She looks up, eyes trying to pierce the pitch black heights above, but without much success.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the shade.
So why do you think it's up there?
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record.
That's why he's up there. And talking about the Mother of Silence. Mother of Silence.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
This is starting to sound slightly supernatural. This is where the Crab Man lives.
I know.
You don't think the Crab Man might be somehow responsible here?
No, I don't.
I see. So, you mentioned that the research isn't going very well. Why is that?
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space.
And that must be frustrating.
And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
That's all I wanted to know about this scary 2mm hole in the world for now.
Great. Thanks.
How do you feel about anodic dance music?
What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Have you even listened to it? Like, actually listened?
Yeah. Like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they?
She pulls a face that looks absolutely scathing.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Okay, right. But, and hear me out, how do you feel about a club for anodic dance music?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
So what do they want to build then?
Take a guess, why don't you?
Something to do with drugs. None of these are really good options. So we'll just go with a youth center would be nice.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Really? I guess I'll let you work in peace. But I want to ask you about this filament I have.
Yes, What is it?
Oh,
No? Yes.
he's seen you. And the crab man has seen you.
I don't care. I don't care about crab men.
She barely looks up, now tinkering with the machine's printer.
Wow, she really doesn't. Not afraid, this one.
Oh, we can't get back to that.
What? No.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis
I brought them.
Machines.
These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Isn't your REM prefect radio computer made exclusively for the government use?
So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps.
And you work for the government?
No, I don't.
So why do you have it?
Because I needed something good for my investigation, and Reims Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards. So I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a Reims prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
Oh?
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see Ream prefects in every police department, for example.
Mm-hmm. Did you, steal it?
No! No, of course not. I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the Coalition. I bought it from her.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually aiming for the military-grade Reim Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as the Civic, but it does work better with newer antenna models, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, but I wanna ask you about the filaments I have. Ah, I guess I screwed up that one. I should have just gone for it.
Great.
Millimeter hole?
The swallow, you mean? What about it?
Yeah, nothing.
Great. Thanks.
Maybe I could have gotten the password out of her. Aww. Aww. I'm a little bit sad now. What's this?
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day.
Thank you, Encyclopedia. Inching ever closer to being able to unlock a new thought.
Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
Or a slot for a new thought. And we're gonna kneel.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass.
Close my eyes first.
The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you, it covers you from the wind outside.
Open your eyes.
The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You.
Ooh, the passing of someone who's still alive. It's... in my case, it's mourning.
As that terrible word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Do the same as you get up.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
How did I know that this is the mother of humanism?
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence, Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still. and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
Brain thing. Wait, what exactly is an innocence?
The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world's spirit.
A ruler?
More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office.
Elected to office by the founding party. Legal system is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions, they're inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated. Centuries and innocence is a continuous compressed. Is one in office now?
No, we are alone.
Okay, so yeah, I get they're probably very, very important people, but how do they know that someone is supposed to be an innocence? When did she rule?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Encyclopedic, by explorers from the continent of Muindi. She is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world.
What else do I know about her?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir La Clé. Also, that she was gorgeous beyond beauty.
And what else? Was she smart?
Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman.
Are the innocences always women, or can they be men as well?
She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state, a scalpel, a piercing gaze.
So they just they start out as people, they just live their lives, and they can marry and screw around and have children and everything, and then they... Are they discovered as innocences during their lives, or are they born and it's just, ooh, an innocence! She's gonna be, or he, unless they're all women, we don't know, gonna be very important, and everything they say is gonna be seen as truth, and they are infallible, they can do no wrong, so if they stub their toe, it has some extremely important meaning because they did it deliberately because of reasons.
She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous.
Okay, that answers that. They are declared an innocence sometime during their lifetime for reasons as of yet unspecified. How come?
It was on her advice that Irene la Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the DeLorean era.
Well, wow.
Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest.
Sure.
Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress.
Or, something they came up with because they thought it sounded cool afterwards.
That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt.
Was there something terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But, although she's often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her Theriers.
Theriers?
She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs.
But of course she was an innocent, so she was infallible, so she wasn't seen as that. So, what happened?
The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerated into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic, mare interregnum.
I guess this is where she would be holding the little tin soldier. This just shows the dangers of, not religion, but fanaticism.
Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefreitor, you've stood there for over 5 minutes.
The lieutenant's calm voice echoes in the cold air of the church. Yeah, I had some interesting inner monologues.
What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
Yellow war criminal? I don't think she's connected to the case. The glowing lungs, probably bogus. She is kind of beautiful. She's not really human. Yeah, she's kind of beautiful.
That she is. A great sacred piece. I wonder what we are doing here, however.
He takes his glasses off to clean them.
In this church, I mean. The coast in general. We shouldn't linger. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
Reconstruct the cracked glass.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both.
Well, thank you. Now we actually get to see the mosaic in quite a bit more detail, even though the glowing lungs are outglowed by everything else. We have some ships here, some ships here. I guess this presents the whole, sailing out away Starting the DeLorean era of discovery, kind of. This might be the queen she advised and who then fell onto her knees. She fell onto her knees in front of her. So what shattered this mosaic?
Unknown.
Oh.
A motor carriage? A gunshot? Someone falling into it? Or maybe just hooligans looking for something to break?
So who is this older woman with the glasses?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, 30 years, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
Secret servicemen, secret police, kind of, and she was always surrounded by them. So yeah, I see how that could make her seem ominous and terrifying. The motto, though, the leitmotif, what does it say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau.
Afterlife, death, after death, a new life?
And then, along the left side, après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau.
That I don't know what it means, though.
After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again.
Right.
This is the great
on this
leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this isola, the Encyclopedic, on human thinking, a tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
Lieutenant, this used to say afterlife, death, after...
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again.
So you're saying everything is a cycle?
This exaltation is common in DeLorean spiritualism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Why?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
Of course it was. So what is the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
I like the other one better.
So do I.
Let's step back.
The mother of humanism towers above you, a wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
This is Dolores Day.
Yes. I wasn't sure before, but this must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. It's called the Small Pinewood Church in some records.
Wait, you knew of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Razardos' founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
Which is basically when she ruled? Because that was also 300 years ago.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
Haha. Before I do anything, unlock. Perfect. So what else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials.
Aww. I mean, even if you don't like the faith, it still has cultural and historical value. And they can be very pretty to look at.
We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find the instigator here. Something else, perhaps?
He looks at the machinery lying around and to the programmer you have already spoken to, but whom you can't ask about if she was part of the group who made the fantasy game, the filament of which you're currently holding or have stuffed inside your jacket somewhere.
Respectful. Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism?
If he is, that's his business.
A pang of guilt. The lieutenant is leaving something out.
Do you know why it was abandoned? We're still only asking historical questions right now.
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces.
That's what Tiago said as well. Who conducted this raid?
Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
Wait, you're not sure?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
I don't remember being here. Then, to be fair, I don't remember anything at all.
I am pretty sure it was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything more about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
But you know, if I was here, I should probably find out what the hell I was doing.
Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten.
I know. I will not be able to let this go.
It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
Okay, and I'm just curious, Kim, but are you a follower of DeLoreanism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
I didn't think you were spiritual.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Alright, we'll turn away. Okay, that was there because we leveled up. Help the driver start a nightclub. Tell Andre about Suna's thoughts on the nightclub. Ruby left the village and went up the coast. Explore the coast for signs. And we should convince Gart to let you sing karaoke. Okay, if I go out and then in again, will I then be able to talk to you about your previous occupation and the filament I have in my jacket pockets? 'Cause I really wanted to ask that question. Please?
Yes, what is it?
Damn. Many machines?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. Great.
Okay. Nope, I guess that is lost to us. So we can probably just go and sell this thing then if we need the money. I guess I'm a little bit sad. I'm sad I missed that. So go talk to Andre. Definitely talk to Arcel. Was that her name? The woman on the ice. There's also a trap to find here somewhere. And the bridge should be down. Yes, there it is. So we can just easily make our way over to the tent. There she is. I think her name was Arcel. So we'll talk to her, we'll talk to these guys again, see, because, yeah, sure, I think they want to set up a dance rave club, but probably also they want to sell some drugs. That's why they have all the morale, no, not morale thing, the Nosafed things for health, the Nosafed things, because they want to cook things and sell them at the rave, and I guess we'll see. Frequency can't be that low. I'm going to leave this episode here, though. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Please take care of yourself, be kind to others and to yourself, and I'll see you anon.